Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been a while. I'm sorry I've disappeared for the past few weeks, but Trinity term has been absolutely crazy. There's been so much to do, so much to deliver, and yeah, it's just been really, really busy. I'll update you about that on a later video. But today we are in the middle of a heat wave, and so I thought I'll share with you some tips on how to survive the heat wave in Oxford. So for those of you who've never been to Oxford or planning to visit Oxford, you have to know that the buildings here are not climate controlled. So there's no air conditioning. And, that said, the buildings have been built like over, you know, centuries ago. And so, it didn't get this hot in summer. It would only be hot for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks during the summer, and it would still be kind of mid-20s Celsius. So it doesn't get that hot here in Oxford. But this heat wave is something very unusual for Oxford. And so, yeah, be prepared to get really hot. There's not many trees in the center city. I mean, in the colleges, there are parks and there are trees, but if you're walking around the center city, it's mostly just buildings, and so it can heat up quite quickly. My first tip would be to find somewhere really nice and cool to rest. So there are a few places that have climate control. If you're a student, you can go to the Manor Road building, which has the Social Sciences Library. That whole building is climate controlled. And another library is the Western Library on Broad Street. That one is also climate controlled because there's a lot of archival material there. So that one is a nice place to go and rest, to get some air conditioning if you need it, without needing to spend, anything. There are a few coffee shops which have climate controlled. So I suppose if you go walk around Westgate and if you go walk around, Ornstein, that would have air conditioning. But then you can also go to, in Summertown, there are 2 coffee shops which have air conditioning, and that would be Cafe Nero and also Columbia Coffee Roasters. I haven't been inside Gales yet this heat wave, so I don't know if they have air conditioning, but Cafe Nero yesterday was really, really nice. And another place that I've really been enjoying lately to cool down without needing to go to a cafe is the M&S in Summertown. It's a very big M&S, and they have a counter where you can sit. So you can buy a drink, you can buy a snack, not too heavy on the pocket, and just sit there and kind of enjoy the cool air conditioning. Yesterday I went to buy food, and I just took my slow time walking around the aisles and enjoying the air conditioning. So I would time my walk when it gets really hot during the day, and I would try to go out, to cool myself down then. All right, so that's one way, is to, find nice and cool places to stay. My second tip would be to make sure that you are also dressed properly. So make sure that you're not wearing synthetic fibers, because those are not very breathable. So the best way would be to be wearing like pure cotton or pure linen, and those are very breathable materials. So that helps you, when you perspire, for it to just dry out, and keeps you very nice and cool. And so I would recommend that. Make sure you get a nice hat with a big wide rim to block the sun, because you don't want your head to heat up, and that will really make you very hot. So make sure you wear a hat, wear clothes that are breathable. And another trick, I think, is I see Asians, we do this a lot, but not so much here in the West, is to wear long sleeves, because when your arms are exposed to the sun, it can get really hot and burned, and it actually makes it feel a bit hotter. So if you could get something that, maybe a long linen shirt with long sleeves, long cotton shirt, to wear those, to block out the sun from your arms, and it actually keeps you pretty nice and cool. There's also nowadays some new technologies. So I got myself a Uniqlo. They have these really nice UV jackets, which are very light, and they block out the sun and the UV. So you can wear that over your arms, and actually wearing long sleeves over your arms actually keeps your body a bit cooler, especially if they are reflecting off the sun. So yeah, make sure your clothing is well. Make sure you also stay. My other next tip would be to make sure you also stay hydrated, because you can get very dehydrated in this heat. Make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water. Try to avoid drinking too much sugar, because it might give you an initial boost, but it's not that healthy to be having too much sugar throughout the whole day, and your body would just not really burn very well. So I would just recommend drink a lot of water. Just make sure you stay hydrated, and the most important thing, I think, is to also, how do you handle the heat in your room or your house if you don't have air conditioning. And so one thing to keep in mind is, for example, if the temperature in your house is cooler than the temperature outside of your room, if the sun is shining, then you want to close the windows, your blinds, your shutters. Make sure that you don't let the sun into your room and to warm up your room, right? So close all those windows, close those shutters during the daytime when it's really hot and sunny and the sun is shining through your door. But in the evening, when the temperature drops and outside becomes cooler, you will open your windows and your doors to let out the cool temperature. So yeah, make sure you do that, and that way your room will stay quite nice and cool. When I leave my room during the day, I close all the windows. I make sure that the hot heat doesn't come in through the window, and I close the curtains. I make sure that it's completely closed, that no sun is going to come into my room, and that really makes a difference. So when I go back, it's not too hot. And then in the evening, when it gets really nice and cool, I open the windows and let in the cool air. So that's one. That's very important, and that is really helps. If possible, get a fan, to help with the air circulation in your room. And also, if you are near to somewhere which has lots of big trees, like this university parks, if you stay in the shade, it's actually very nice and cool. It's not too hot. It's a lot of wind as well here, so actually just coming outdoors, sit in the park under the tree, it's very relaxing and a lot cooler than being outside on the in the hot buildings, if you can survive it. So I think those are the main tips for how to survive this weather. And I don't know, how do you stay cool in this heat wave? What are your suggestions? Do drop your comment down in the comment box. Share your ideas. Let's hope everybody survives this heat wave, and stay safe, everyone. Bye bye. See you in your next video. Alright, so I was just walking and I just realized I forgot to mention one last tip, very important, is to take cold showers. And when you do, make sure that you wash your hair or put water in your head. Make yourself completely wet from head to toe, because that will help your body relieve the temperature. And you can feel it when you wash your hair and your head, that the temperature of your body just drops. So that's very important. And you don't need to take, you can, only one shower a day. You can take several. So in Thailand, sometimes we take 2 or 3 showers a day just to stay cool when it gets very, very hot. So do that. Take cold showers. Keep your body temperature down. Another way, if you're outside, is to maybe have a small towel with you. Soak it in water and put a towel at the back of your neck, because that is also where some points where heat accumulates. And so if you cool down the back of your neck, your body would also stay quite nice and cool, and your extremities your feet as well. So yeah, your feet, your back of your neck, keep it cold, and that will help your body temperature significantly. All right, so let me know if you do this. Do you agree with it or not? But this is what works in Asia, and I'm sure it will also work here in Oxford. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.